The Galactic Research Institute stood tall and proud on planet NK-427, its silver towers reaching toward the purple sky. Inside the main control room, Chief Scientist Duha looked at the large screens in front of him. His blue skin wrinkled with worry as he checked the readings one more time. These energy readings cannot be right, Duha said to himself. He pressed several buttons on his control panel, making sure the equipment was working properly. The screen showed dangerous levels of radiation spreading across Research Section 7, where the first contact meeting was about to take place. Duha's assistant ran into the room. Chief Scientist, the radiation levels in Section 7 are rising fast. I know, Duha replied, his 4 eyes focusing on the growing red zone on the map. Call Head of Security Kita immediately. We need to stop the first contact meeting. The situation was becoming worse with each passing minute. The Galactic Research Institute had spent 5 years preparing for this meeting with the newly discovered humans from Earth. Now, just minutes before the historical event, something was going terribly wrong. Kita arrived quickly, his protective armor making soft sounds as he walked. What's the situation, Chief Scientist? Look at these readings. Duha pointed at the screen. The radiation in Section 7 is reaching nuclear accident levels. We need to evacuate everyone now. Kita's face turned a pale blue. But the human ambassador is already on his way there. Captain Li Jinwu's ship landed 10 minutes ago. Duha felt his heart skip a beat. Send the evacuation signal now. We can't let anyone stay in that section. Red lights started flashing throughout the building. A calm voice spoke through the speakers. Warning, radiation levels critical in Section 7. All personnel must evacuate immediately. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Research Director Sun Mi's voice came through the communication system. Chief Duha, the radiation levels are impossible. The safety systems are failing. Get out of there, Duha shouted into his communicator. All personnel must leave Section 7 now. The main screen showed people running from the affected area. Scientists in protective suits hurried toward the safety zones. Security officers helped guide everyone to safety. But then something caught Duha's attention. Kita, look. Duha pointed at one of the security cameras. Someone is walking into Section 7. The camera showed a tall figure walking calmly through the emergency doors. The person wore what looked like a simple Earth military uniform, with no protective suit. That's impossible, Kita whispered. That's the human, Captain Li Jinwu. He's walking straight into the radiation zone. Duha quickly checked the radiation readings. They were now at levels that would kill most known species in minutes. We have to stop him. He'll die. Keita tried to use the emergency communication system. Captain Li, you must stop. The radiation levels are fatal. Captain Li, do you copy? But the human kept walking. The security camera showed him moving through the red-lit corridors as if he was taking a casual walk in a park. The scientists watching the screens couldn't believe their eyes. His vital signs, Sun Mi's shocked voice, came through the system. They're normal. How is this possible? Duha checked the medical readings coming from the sensors. Captain Li's body showed no signs of radiation damage. In fact, his vital signs were perfectly stable, as if he was walking through a normal room. More scientists gathered in the control room, watching in amazement as the human walked deeper into the radiation zone. The readings got worse. The radiation was now at levels that would melt their protective suits in seconds. Look at his cellular structure, one of the scientists said, pointing at the detailed scans. It's adapting to the radiation. Duha couldn't believe what he was seeing. The human cells were not just surviving the radiation. They were processing it, adapting to it in ways that defied everything they knew about biology. Captain Li's voice suddenly came through the communication system. His tone was calm and friendly, as if nothing unusual was happening. Galactic Research Institute, this is Captain Li Jinwu. I'm reaching the center of Section 7 now. I can see some damage to your equipment. Would you like me to check it? The room fell silent. Duha looked at Kita, then at the other scientists. None of them knew how to respond to this impossible situation. Captain Lee, Duha finally spoke, trying to keep his voice steady. The radiation levels where you are, they're fatal. How are you still alive? There was a slight pause before the human responded. Oh, you mean the radiation? Yes, I noticed that. It's a bit higher than usual, but nothing dangerous for humans. We've dealt with worse during our nuclear power plant inspections back on Earth. The scientists looked at each other in shock. What kind of species were these humans? What kind of planet was Earth, where such radiation levels were considered nothing dangerous? Captain, Kita joined the conversation. Our sensors show radiation levels that would kill most known species in minutes. Your protective suit must be very advanced. A light chuckle came through the system. Protective suit? I'm just wearing my regular uniform. Earth's protection technology is good, but we don't really need suits for this level of radiation. Our bodies can handle it naturally. Duha sat down heavily in his chair. Everything they thought they knew about the humans' level of advancement needed to be reconsidered. They had classified Earth as a death world because of its harsh conditions, but they had severely underestimated what that meant for its inhabitants. I think I've found the problem. Captain Lee's voice came through again. Looks like one of your power cores is leaking. The containment field is damaged. Would you like me to help fix it? Before anyone could respond, one of the junior scientists burst into the control room. Chief Duha, the radiation levels. They're starting to drop. The screens confirmed it. The red zone was slowly shrinking. Somehow, the human was managing to fix the leak without any protective equipment. Fascinating. Sunmi's voice whispered through the communication system. Simply fascinating. Duha looked at the screens showing Captain Lee calmly working on their equipment. The human's vital signs remained perfectly normal, his cellular structure continuing to process the radiation, as if it was ordinary air. Kita, Duha said quietly, I think we need to update our first contact protocols, and perhaps we need to reconsider everything we thought we knew about species from Deathworlds. The head of security nodded slowly, his eyes still fixed on the screens. The Galactic Council will need to know about this, a species that can walk through radiation like it's nothing. They're not just survivors of a harsh world. They're something else entirely. As they watched Captain Lee finish his repairs and start walking back, Duha realized that this was just the beginning. The humans weren't the primitive species they had assumed them to be. They were something unprecedented in the galaxy, a species that had not just survived their harsh world, but had mastered it in ways that seemed impossible. The first contact meeting hadn't gone as planned, but it had revealed something far more important. The galaxy was about to learn that sometimes the most advanced civilizations aren't the ones with the most impressive technology. They're the ones that can walk through a nuclear blast zone without breaking a sweat. Duha looked at his notes and began writing his preliminary report. The title seemed to write itself. First Contact Incident Report. Human demonstrates unprecedented radiation resistance. He had a feeling this. Research Director Sunmei stood in the main laboratory, her eyes fixed on the medical scanners. Captain Lee Jinwoo sat calmly on the examination table, showing no signs of distress or radiation damage. The events from Section 7 had turned the Galactic Research Institute upside down. Your cellular structure is remarkable, Sunmai said, adjusting her protective suit. Even hours after the incident, the human's body still carried radiation levels that would be deadly to her species. How does your body process the radiation so efficiently? Captain Lee smiled. On Earth, we've lived with radiation for a long time. Our bodies adapted to handle it. Some humans even work daily in nuclear power plants. Chief Scientist Duha entered the laboratory, carrying several data tablets. His protective suit made soft clicking sounds as he walked. Captain Lee, your medical scans are unlike anything we've seen before. Your DNA repair mechanisms work faster than any known species in the galaxy. Really? Captain Lee looked interested. On Earth, we thought this was normal. Our bodies repair radiation damage automatically. We even use radiation to treat serious illnesses. Sun Mai nearly dropped her scanner. You use radiation to heal? Yes. Captain Lee nodded. We call it radiation therapy. It helps us fight certain types of cancer. We've been doing it for over 100 years. Du-Ha and Sun Mai looked at each other in amazement. Their own species saw radiation as nothing but deadly. The idea of using it for healing seemed impossible. The laboratory door opened again. Head of Security Kita walked in, followed by several scientists from different departments. All wore protective suits, maintaining a safe distance from Captain Lee. The Galactic Council wants a full report, Kita announced. They don't believe our initial findings. They think our equipment must be malfunctioning. Captain Lee laughed softly. Would they believe it if I walked through another radiation zone? I could give them a demonstration. That won't be necessary, Du-Ha said quickly. Though I must admit, watching you walk through that nuclear blast zone was extraordinary. Our protective suits started failing within seconds, but you didn't even notice the radiation. Sun Mai continued her scans, focusing on Captain Lee's bone structure. Look at this, she pointed to the screen. His bones show signs of natural radiation shielding. It's as if his entire skeleton acts as a radiation dampener. The other scientists gathered around the screen, taking notes and discussing the findings in hushed tones. Captain Lee watched them with patience and curiosity. May I ask a question? He said. Why did you classify Earth as a primitive world? We've been working with nuclear power for generations. The room fell silent. Du-Ha stepped forward, his blue skin turning slightly darker with embarrassment. We saw the harsh conditions on your planet, the natural disasters, the extreme weather, the background radiation. We thought no advanced civilization could develop in such conditions. Ah, Captain Lee nodded understanding. You thought the challenges would hold us back. But actually, they pushed us forward. Every problem we faced made us stronger, more adaptable. Kita joined the conversation. Our preliminary research showed that humans deliberately build homes in areas prone to earthquakes, hurricanes, and volcanic activity. We thought this showed poor judgment. Captain Lee smiled again. Those challenges taught us to build stronger structures. Every disaster helped us develop better technology, better understanding of our world. The radiation in your Section 7. That's similar to what we deal with when maintaining our nuclear power plants. Sun Mai's scanner beeped, showing new data. Captain, your cells are not just resistant to radiation. They're actually using it. Your body is converting radiation energy into something useful. Yes, that's normal for us, Captain Lee explained. Our bodies learn to adapt to Earth's natural radiation over millions of years. When we discovered nuclear power, our existing adaptations helped us work with it safely. One of the younger scientists raised her hand. But the radiation levels in Section 7 were far above anything natural. How did you survive that? Remember, Captain Lee said, humans have survived several nuclear accidents in our history. Each time, we learned more about radiation's effects on our bodies. We discovered that we could handle much higher levels than we thought possible. Du-Ha checked his data tablets again. According to our records, humans have deliberately exposed themselves to radiation for scientific research. Is this true? Yes, Captain Lee confirmed. Many brave scientists studied radiation's effects firsthand. Their work helped us understand our radiation resistance better. Some even received special awards for their research. Sun Mai completed another scan. Your cellular repair rate is increasing. Your body is actually becoming more efficient at processing radiation the longer you're exposed to it. This caused another stir among the scientists. Adaptive radiation resistance was unheard of in the galaxy. Most species either had fixed resistance or none at all. Captain Lee, Du-Ha said formally, I believe we owe you and your species an apology. We severely underestimated humans based on our own limitations. Your ability to not just survive but thrive in conditions we find lethal is remarkable." Keita nodded in agreement. "The Galactic Council needs to revise its classification system. We can't judge other species' advancement by our own standards." Captain Lee stood up from the examination table. The scientists stepped back instinctively, their protective suits' radiation sensors still beeping warnings. "No apology needed," he said warmly. "Every species develops differently. We're just happy to share our knowledge with the galaxy. Perhaps we can help you develop better radiation protection technology." Sunlita looked excited despite her protective suit. "A technological and scientific exchange program would be invaluable. Your understanding of radiation could revolutionize our research." "Then let's work together," Captain Lee suggested. "We can learn from each other. You have amazing space travel technology, and we have experience with radiation and harsh environments. Together, we could achieve great things." Duha began preparing his report for the Galactic Council. The title would be significant: Human Radiation Resistance, Redefining Our Understanding of Species Evolution. As the scientists continued their discussion with Captain Lee, none of them noticed the small camera in the corner of the laboratory. Behind that camera, in a secret observation room, research assistant Han Gill watched with growing interest. The humans' capabilities were even more extraordinary than expected. Perhaps it was time to conduct some unauthorized experiments of their own. The day's events had changed everything. The galaxy's understanding of human capabilities would never be the same, and in the shadows, wheels were already turning that would put those capabilities to an unexpected test. The great hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with nervous energy. Representatives from 100 worlds sat in their designated areas, all eyes focused on the central platform. Leading xenobiologist Hyun Ki stood at the podium, preparing to present his findings about human biology. The council leader raised her hand for silence. "We are here today to discuss the remarkable events at the Galactic Research Institute. Xenobiologist Hyun Ki will present his analysis of human radiation resistance." Hyun Ki adjusted his data display and began speaking. "Honored council members, what I am about to show you will change our understanding of biological adaptation forever." The large screen behind him displayed a complex diagram of human cellular structure. "This is the DNA repair mechanism in human cells. As you can see, it is unlike anything we have encountered before." A murmur ran through the audience. The repair system looked incredibly complex, yet somehow elegant in its design. "Humans come from what we classified as a death world," Hyun Ki continued. "Earth experiences regular natural disasters, extreme weather, and high background radiation. But instead of making humans weak, these conditions made them stronger." He showed a comparison between human cells and cells from other known species. Most species cells break down under radiation. Human cells adapt to it. They can even use radiation for healing. One council member stood up. "Impossible. No species can use radiation for healing. It goes against all known biological principles." Hyun Ki displayed medical records from Earth. Humans have been using radiation therapy to treat diseases for over 2 centuries. They deliberately expose sick cells to radiation, killing the harmful ones while healthy cells survive and adapt. The council chamber erupted in shocked discussions. The idea seemed impossible, yet the evidence was clear. Furthermore, Hyun Ki continued when the noise died down, "Humans have worked with nuclear power for generations. They build protective suits not because they need them, but to follow safety regulations. Their bodies can handle radiation levels that would kill most of us instantly." He showed footage from the incident at Section 7, where Captain Lee walked through the radiation zone. "This human walked through radiation strong enough to melt our protective suits. His body showed no damage. In fact, his cellular repair rate increased with exposure." The council leader leaned forward. "How do they achieve this? What is their secret?" "There is no secret," Hyun Ki explained. "This is natural adaptation. Earth's harsh conditions forced humans to evolve these abilities. They don't see it as special because for them, it is normal. He displayed more data from the medical examinations. Their bones act as natural radiation shields. Their cells can convert radiation energy into useful forms. Even their blood helps protect them from radiation damage. Another council member spoke up. Could this be artificial enhancement? Perhaps they modify their biology. No, Hyun-Ki shook his head. These adaptations developed naturally over millions of years. Human children are born with these abilities. They inherited them from countless generations who survived Earth's harsh conditions. The screen showed a map of Earth's nuclear power plants. Humans build these facilities knowing the risks. They have safety procedures, but their natural radiation resistance gives them an advantage. They can handle accidents and repairs that would be fatal to us. A scientist from the medical division raised her hand. Could we learn from their biology? Could their adaptations help us develop better radiation protection? That is why I am here, Hyun-Ki replied. The humans have offered to share their knowledge. They want to help us understand radiation resistance. Captain Lee has volunteered for further studies. The council chamber filled with excited discussion. The possibility of learning from human biology opened new opportunities for galactic science. But one council member remained skeptical. What if they are hostile? A species this resistant to radiation could be very dangerous. Hyun-Ki displayed images of human medical facilities. Humans use their abilities to heal and help others. They have offered to teach us how to treat radiation sickness. They want to share their knowledge for peaceful purposes. He showed more data from Captain Lee's examinations. Their bodies develop these abilities through natural evolution. It shows how life can adapt to even the harshest conditions. We should learn from this instead of fearing it. The council leader called for order as discussions grew louder. This discovery changes many things. We must reconsider our classification of Earth and humans. Hyun-Ki nodded. I recommend reclassifying Earth from primitive death world to advanced adaptive world. The humans are not primitive. They mastered their harsh environment in ways we never imagined possible. In the back of the chamber, research assistant Han-Gil watched with growing interest. The council's amazement at human abilities confirmed his plans. Soon, they would have even more dramatic proof of human radiation resistance. The council leader spoke again. We will need time to process this information. The implications for galactic science are enormous. Hyun-Ki prepared his final slides. There is one more thing. Preliminary studies suggest human radiation resistance might be transferable through medical procedures. They may be able to help us develop similar protections. This announcement caused the biggest stir yet. Species that had avoided radiation-heavy regions of space saw new possibilities opening up. The ability to work safely with radiation could revolutionize galactic technology. We have much to learn from the humans, Hyun-Ki concluded. Their natural adaptations could help us overcome many limitations. But first, we must understand that their abilities are not impossible or unnatural. They are the result of life adapting to overcome challenges. As the council prepared to vote on Earth's reclassification, none of them noticed Han-Gil quietly leaving the chamber. The upcoming unauthorized experiment would show everyone just how remarkable human radiation resistance truly was. The council's decision would change galactic society forever. Humans would no longer be seen as primitive survivors of a harsh world. They would be recognized as masters of adaptation, capable of turning deadly radiation into a tool for survival and healing. The age of human galactic cooperation was about to begin. But first, they would face an unexpected test of their abilities, one that would prove to the galaxy just how extraordinary humans truly were. Captain Lee Jinwoo stood before the emergency meeting of the Galactic Council. The large chamber was packed with representatives from across the galaxy, all waiting to hear his explanation of the recent events. Distinguished council members, Captain Lee began, his voice calm and clear. The radiation incident in Section 7 was not an accident. It was a deliberate test conducted without authorization. The chamber erupted in shocked whispers. Chief Scientist Duha and Research Director Sunmai exchanged worried glances from their seats. "We discovered this through our investigation of the security recordings," Captain Lee continued. He nodded to Kita, who activated the main screen. The footage showed Research Assistant Hangil and several other scientists working in Section 7 late at night. They were deliberately damaging the radiation containment systems. "As you can see," Captain Lee explained, "they plan to test human radiation resistance without proper safety protocols or permission." The council leader stood up, her expression severe. "This is a serious violation of our research protocols. Why would they do this?" Captain Lee touched a control panel, bringing up more security footage. "They didn't believe the initial data about human biology. They thought we were hiding something or using advanced technology." The screen showed Hangil speaking to his conspirators. "The humans must have secret protection technology. No species can naturally resist such radiation. This test will reveal the truth." Duha stepped forward to address the council. "We found Hangil's private research logs. He was obsessed with discovering the secret of human radiation resistance. He refused to accept that it was a natural adaptation." Sun Li joined them at the podium. The radiation leak was timed to coincide with Captain Lee's arrival. They wanted to force a demonstration of human capabilities. The council members watched in silence as more footage played. It showed Hangil's team monitoring the incident from a hidden room, recording Captain Lee's walk through the radiation zone. "What they didn't understand," Captain Lee explained, "was that humans have nothing to hide. Our radiation resistance is natural. We would have gladly demonstrated it safely if they had asked." Keita displayed the radiation level readings from the incident. The levels were far higher than necessary for any test. They put everyone in the facility at risk. "That's not the worst part," Sun Mai added. "They planned more unauthorized tests. We found equipment set up in other sections of the facility." The council leader's voice was firm. "Where is Research Assistant Hangil now?" "In custody," Kite reported, along with his co-conspirators. "They were arrested this morning when we discovered their plans for more dangerous tests." Captain Lee raised his hand for attention. "Honored Council, I want to make something clear. Despite this incident, Earth remains committed to sharing our knowledge with the galaxy. We believe in cooperation and mutual understanding." He displayed data from his own medical scans. "These show my body's response to the radiation exposure. Everything is documented and verified. We have nothing to hide and nothing to prove through dangerous tricks." Duha stepped forward again. Captain Lee's openness about human capabilities makes Hangil's actions even more inexcusable. "We had full access to human medical data. There was no need for secret tests." The screen showed more security footage, this time of Hangil's team planning future experiments. They had prepared even more dangerous radiation scenarios, not caring about the risks to others. "The most disturbing part," Sun Mai said, "is that they ignored all safety protocols. If Captain Lee hadn't been naturally resistant to radiation, their actions could have caused a tragedy." Captain Lee nodded gravely. "On Earth, we learned hard lessons about radiation safety. Yes, we can survive high radiation levels, but we still take precautions to protect everyone." Hangil's team showed complete disregard for these principles. The council leader called for order as discussions broke out across the chamber. "This incident requires a formal response. We cannot allow unauthorized experimentation on any species." "Earth agrees," Captain Lee said. "We recommend reviewing all research protocols. Safety must come first, regardless of scientific curiosity." Keita displayed more evidence from the investigation. Hangil's team falsified safety reports, disabled monitoring systems, and bypassed security protocols. They violated dozens of regulations. Duha addressed the council again. "We propose establishing new guidelines for research involving humans and other radiation-resistant species. All tests must be conducted openly, with proper safety measures." Sun Mai added her support. We also recommend creating a joint Human Galactic Safety Commission. We can learn from Earth's experience with radiation safety. Captain Lee turned to face the entire council. This incident taught us all something important. Understanding between species cannot be forced through secret tests. It must be built on trust and open communication. The council chambers fell silent as everyone considered his words. The truth about the radiation incident had revealed both the worst and best aspects of interspecies relations. "There's one more thing," Captain Lee said quietly. "During the incident, my body's reactions were exactly what we would expect from any human. This proves again that we don't use secret technology. Our abilities are natural, developed over millions of years on Earth." He displayed more medical data. "These readings show my cellular repair systems working normally. Everything matches our existing medical records." Hangil's test proved nothing except his own disregard for safety. The council leader stood to address the chamber. "This incident will have serious consequences, but it also shows us the importance of trust and proper scientific procedures." As the council prepared to vote on new safety protocols, Captain Lee exchanged looks with Duha and Sunma. Despite Hangil's dangerous actions, the incident had brought humans and the galactic community closer together. The truth had emerged, not through secret tests, but through cooperation and honest communication. Now the real work of understanding human capabilities could begin, conducted safely and openly for the benefit of all species. 3 months after the radiation incident, the Galactic Research Institute had changed significantly. The once quiet halls now bustled with activity as human scientists worked alongside their alien counterparts. In the main laboratory, Chief Scientist Duha and Captain Li Jinwu reviewed the latest research results. "These findings are remarkable," Duha said, examining the data displays. "Your suggestion to modify our radiation shielding based on human bone structure has improved our protection systems by 200%. Captain Lee nodded, pointing to another screen. "And your advanced scanning technology helped us understand our own biology better. We never knew our cellular repair systems were so complex." Research Director Sunmai entered the laboratory, carrying new reports. "The Galactic Council has officially reclassified Earth as an advanced, resilient civilization. They've also approved the establishment of the Human Galactic Scientific Exchange Program." The news brought smiles to everyone's faces. It represented a complete change from the old view of Earth as a primitive death world. "The trial of Hangil and his team concluded yesterday," Sunmai continued, her expression becoming serious. "They have been banned from scientific research for life. The Council made it clear that unauthorized experiments will not be tolerated." Duha set down his data tablet. "Their actions were wrong, but they led to something positive. Without that incident, we might never have learned the full extent of human capabilities." "True," Captain Lee agreed, "but we could have demonstrated our abilities safely. The incident put many lives at risk unnecessarily." Sunmai activated the main screen, showing the new research facility under construction. The Human Galactic Radiation Research Center will be completed next month. It's designed to safely study radiation resistance and develop new protection technologies. The screen displayed images of the advanced facility. It featured specially designed testing chambers, medical research labs, and training areas where humans could teach other species about radiation safety. "We've already received applications from 50 different worlds," Duha reported. "Scientists everywhere want to learn from human experience with radiation." Captain Lee examined the facility plans. "The safety systems look excellent. Multiple layers of protection, emergency shutdowns, and proper monitoring. Everything Hangil's team ignored." "Speaking of safety," Sunmai added, "the new protocols you helped us develop have been implemented across all research facilities. No more unauthorized experiments." Duha pulled up another report. "The medical applications are particularly exciting. Using modified versions of human cellular repair mechanisms, we've developed treatments for radiation exposure. We can now help species that could never handle radiation before. The screen showed medical data from recent trials. Patients from various species showed improved radiation resistance after receiving treatments based on human biology. It's not as strong as natural human resistance, Sun Mai explained, but it's enough to make a real difference. Species that once avoided radiation-heavy regions can now work there safely. Captain Lee studied the medical results. This is exactly what we hoped for, sharing knowledge to help everyone. No secrets, no dangerous tests, just open cooperation. A group of young alien scientists passed by the laboratory, chatting excitedly with their human instructors. The sight made Duha smile. "Remember when we thought humans were primitive?" he asked. "Now our youngest scientists dream of studying Earth's environmental adaptations." Sunma checked her data tablet. "The Council has approved expeditions to study other Deathworld species too. Your success made them realize that harsh conditions often produce remarkable adaptations. Just remember to study them safely and respectfully," Captain Lee advised. "Every species deserves to be understood on its own terms." The laboratory door opened as more researchers arrived for the afternoon session. Humans and aliens worked side by side, sharing knowledge and ideas freely. "The exchange program has already produced amazing results," Duha said. "Combining human radiation resistance with galactic technology has opened new possibilities we never imagined." Sun Li displayed images from recent space exploration missions. "We can now explore regions that were too radioactive before. Human crew members work alongside protected alien teammates. It's revolutionary." "And this is just the beginning," Captain Lee added. "Earth has many other adaptations that might help the galaxy. Our resistance to extreme temperatures, our ability to recover from injuries. Your species continues to amaze us," Duha admitted. "Every time we study human biology, we find new surprises." The screen showed a map of planned research centers across the galaxy. Each would focus on different aspects of human adaptations, working to understand and apply them safely. "The most important lesson," Sun Mai said, "wasn't about radiation resistance at all. It was about cooperation and trust between species." Captain Lee agreed. "When we work together openly and safely, we can achieve incredible things." Hangil's team tried to force discoveries through dangerous tests. "We're making better discoveries through patience and proper research." Duha checked the time. "The new training session begins soon." Another group of scientists eager to learn about human radiation safety procedures. "I'll handle this session," Captain Lee offered. "It's important that they learn directly from human experience." As they watched him leave, Duha turned to Sunma. "Sometimes I still can't believe how wrong we were about humans. We thought their harsh world made them primitive. Instead," Sunma finished, "it made them into something extraordinary. Not just their physical adaptations, but their willingness to share knowledge and help others." The laboratory hummed with activity as research continued. Human and alien scientists worked together, learning from each other, making discoveries that would benefit all species. Outside, the purple sky of planet NK-427 was bright with sunshine. The Galactic Research Institute stood proud, its silver towers reaching upward, now a symbol of cooperation between worlds. The radiation incident that had once threatened disaster had led to a new era of understanding, proving that sometimes the greatest discoveries come from learning to trust and respect each other. In his office, Duha finished his latest report to the Galactic Council. The title reflected how much had changed. The Human Legacy. How Earth's challenges created a species that changed the galaxy. The future looked brighter than ever, thanks to the incredible adaptations of the species they had once underestimated so badly.